Hi, I'm Scott Herbert, and welcome to The Secret Ingredient. We're in Chicago at the Whole Foods Market South Loop location, and our secret ingredient today is rajas. And I'm here with chef and owner of Frontera Grill, Frontera Fresco, and Topolobampo, Rick Bayless. Rick, welcome to The Secret Ingredient.
How you doing?
Good to see you.
It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Thank you. So what are we going to do today?
Well, rajas, like you said. A lot of people probably don't even know what rajas are.
I was just going to ask you that.
It's made out of poblano peppers. So that's sort of the secret ingredient, because I always have these in my refrigerator because you can do so many things with it. But the really classic way to prepare them in Mexico is to roast them and then cook them with some sauteed onions, a little garlic, Mexican oregano, and that stuff can be used for a multitude of different recipes. You can put it on a steak just as it is, or what we're going to do today is turn it into this really good roasted tomato soup.
Awesome. So it could be considered a condiment.
It could be considered a condiment, or a vegetable, or a condiment vegetable. I don't know. Let's get started here. Okay, the first thing that we're going to do is to roast a chili. Now, the poblano chilies, when you choose them, you want to get ones that are really brilliant on the outside. They shouldn't look shriveled at all. They shouldn't look dull on the outside. So really shiny like that one. Put them over an open flame if you have an open flame.
Okay.
But if you don't, you can rely on an electric broiler to do this same work. It doesn't cook it in exactly the same way. It's well, this is going to char the skin in a really beautiful way.
Right.
The electric broiler will cook the chili through a little bit more. For this kind of preparation that we're doing today, that's no problem at all.
Okay.
But sometimes you want a little bit more crunch in the chili. Now, you can hear it start to blister,
crackle.
and you really want to have that skin turn black on the outside.
Okay.
This is actually a way of slightly cooking the chili, but it's also a way of getting that really tough skin off of it.
Okay.
So you just turn this over the fire until it's uniformly blackened all over the outside of it. Now we've got one here. That's going to take, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes, but we've got one here that is completely blackened. And even down in the little crevices, you'll notice that eventually you'll be able to get that, that blackening happening. When that happens, you know that the skin will be able to just be pulled right off as it cools down. Of course, you want to wait until this thing cools down to room temperature before you can do that. Some people say put it into a plastic bag.
Okay.
I say put it into a bowl and put a kitchen towel over it. Plastic bag traps a lot of heat, and it will cook the chili even further. Now, to get this off, you really do have to kind of rinse it. You see how that skin just comes off easily like that? And then you have to kind of get it into a little bit of water. We don't want to, we've created a smokiness by blistering and then blackening that skin, and I don't want to have all that go away. You'll see that I'm going to tear it open like that, and then the seed pod will come out. We'll get rid of that like that, and then we'll just gently rinse it off. And then we can take this and cut it into strips. And we've got a pound total. That was about 4 big ones, and that's the base of it. Now, so we've got this prepped, and then just film the saute pan, just the bottom of it, with a little bit of oil. I've now sliced this onion up. We're going to toss it into the pan. You notice that the heat's high on that. I want this to cook quickly so that before we get soft onions, we get them cooked. So they're still a little crunchy, but they're cooked through. They're not going to have that raw onion taste, but they're still going to be a little bit crunchy. I'm just going to mash the garlic like that so that I can easily peel off the little papery skin. This works fine if you're going to chop the garlic, because you're basically crushing it at this point. You see we've got a little browning going on.
A little caramelization,
That's where we want to stop this at this point. We're going to add to it now the 3 cloves of chopped garlic. And then I'm going to put in a little Mexican oregano. So we'll sprinkle that over this. Now you can really get that aroma coming up. Beautiful how it just fills the air once it's gotten a little heat on it. And we'll take our roasted poblanos cut into strips there, mix that in. I've got a little salt to sprinkle over it now. And there you've got it. That is rajas. We're going to take the rajas and we're going to make that into a soup. When you roast like this, just the way that we roasted the pepper, that you have created that deep smoky richness, and you've cooked the tomato all the way through, and you've done it in a way that's like the caramelizing of the onion.
Okay.
Bringing out sweetness, and that's really, I think, what it's all about. You can put them on a baking sheet like that, run them up under the broiler, and it'll take about 5 or 6 minutes per side, and they'll look like that. So you can peel off most of the skin from these tomatoes. You see that they're soft now.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to slide these guys into food processor. And then when they're completely smooth, we're going to add that to the rajas. That'll make the base of our soup. So that cooks down for just a little bit. We want it just to get up to a good simmer.
Okay.
Those flavors will start to come together, the roasted poblanos, the roasted tomatoes, and all that. And then we're going to add beef stock to it. Now, I know some people might think that beef stock is a really strong flavor, but to me, a tomato soup made with beef stock tastes really homemade. It has this gutsy quality that I think is beautiful with those roasted poblano rajas that we made. So we've got about 6 cups of broth that we're going to add to this. So we're going to let that simmer then for a little while. I think we've got some that we can move on to here. Well, it smells good.
It smells fantastic.
It looks good.
It looks good.
I think we're ready to serve some here. You can see all the the rajas in there. Put one of those down there, and then I'll talk about the garnishes that we have to go on it. Well, actually, it's just one garnish, and
beautiful.
This actually does turn this from being just a simple soup into being a much more substantial one, and that's to put cubes of Mexican queso fresco. Tell me what you think especially of that cheese and what it adds to the whole thing. You'll notice that cheese will kind of soften just a little bit, but it doesn't melt.
No.
It's not a melting cheese.
Incredible.
We actually started a foundation a few years ago to help support local farms and to help them by giving them money, grants to do capital improvements. So do they need to get a greenhouse or a new tractor or watering system, whatever? And we've given away over $400,000 in the last few years just to improve the conditions on these farms so that they become more profitable. And then there's more stuff in the markets, and that's what we think really enhances the quality of life in our community, and also the quality of food on our tables.
Oh, that's fantastic. I couldn't agree more. And so, Rick,
I'm going back for more here. I can't.
I certainly will as well. And Rick, if people don't have the pleasure of coming to Chicago and eating at one of your great restaurants, they can catch you on your PBS series,
That's right.
Mexico One Plate at a Time.
Mexico One Plate at a Time, and it's 6th season now.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah,
that's fantastic. Great run.
Really nice to be with you.
Rick, likewise. Thank you very much. Thanks for stopping by at The Secret Ingredient.
Hi, I'm Bob at South Loop Store in Chicago, and you're watching Secret Ingredient.